Hey guys, welcome back to Woke Plus. I'm Weekend Woke, joined tonight by Skinny from Stummy Down. How you doing, Skinny?
I'm doing great. I love watching T run over to that guy to give him a tip. I always want to know how much he gave him.
uh, he's a generous fella. I don't remember exactly how much, but I know in general he's a big spender. T.
I think it was a
Uh,
sawbuck, maybe.
yeah. Yeah, I love that intro. That was actually from Dick's last year. That footage was live. That was, I think, night 3, and we were just hanging out, like, or maybe it was 2 years ago, just really late on that, like 2 hours after the show. Everybody
Nice.
was still partying. It was awesome. Speaking of late, holy shit, it's 2 in the
I'm
morning over here on the East Coast, and we're here breaking down some wild ass fish show.
unbelievable. Yeah, I thought we'd be on like at 1:30.
And here we are. Well, I guess we should get right into it then with things that in mind. We got this really high-tech Windows background now. I love it. And clippy. All right, so Fluffhead, starting off with Fluff, first couple of notes, everybody's super hype. I think it's a great energetic way to start it. And if it had been just a standard Fluff, I think everybody would have been fine and it would have been a great way to start it. But then they modulate and they go deeper into the, right out of the compose into like a type 2 tagged on jam, which was really nice. I mean, it had this cool, great soaring jam to it. It just made it that much better of a opener. I felt a very cool way. It was at 22 minutes it came in at. So again, they're in the one spot for these Dick shows. They're just coming in huge in the one spot.
This thing was a freaking heater, man. I just wrote, you know, you had said like, I hope you're taking notes, and I did. And this is a heater, and I wrote Ricky Henderson, so I started doing baseball references. I'm not going to stick with this theme throughout the show, just one for now. But Ricky Henderson, just like the leadoff stolen base, and then scores a run right away. You're already down 1-0. I mean, it's so good. I just felt like there were some things in there like that. They from the night before, this discombobulated like disassociation that they do, and then they bring it all back, which I think everybody loves, the either the hide under the chair moments or like what's going on moments. And I thought that Fluffhead had all of that, just like it's like a piggyback in a business meeting to the split open and melt from the night before. I mean, I thought it was just an unbelievable way to start the show. I mean, I love Fluffhead anyway, but just they crushed it. And the technical playing from Trey, I don't know how you move your fingers that fast, man. You know what I mean? It's
He
crazy.
hasn't lost a beat at all.
No.
I mean, his fingers and his playing is better than it's been in a long time, I feel like, or as good as. I don't even know if it was, it ever dipped. I think he hasn't lost a note. I think you're right with that Fluffhead jam, but then again, throughout the night, there was a little more weirdness tonight, which I really appreciated. That's one of the things I've been realizing over all these shows we've been watching and dissecting, is that like they've been playing phenomenally, but there's been a lot of safe jams and not experimenting and going into new territory as much, compared to previous years, I think. But tonight I felt like they got a little weird. They went places with the jams that they don't normally do. A lot of songs that they don't normally jam got some jams, and a lot of jams that they don't normally get into weird spots with, they did. So right off the bat, you knew what kind of night it was. Then they brought it kind of into a more type 1 bluesy, 12-bar type jam with My Soul, and really short. I love My Soul. I'm curious. This came up the other night too, and I asked someone on the show, what do you think about My Soul? Because I really like this song, and apparently it's not beloved by everybody.
I could see why it's not beloved by everybody, but I like My Soul. I mean, I think in MSG we saw it encored, right? My Soul sucks.
Maybe it's just the chat that makes me feel that way.
I got something else that sucks, but anyway, so I I just thought that the execution when they did it in MSG was really good, and I don't know. I kind of like that bluesy like style, that riff. I don't know. It does something to me. It's a little.
Get you moving, right? It's a fun party song, I think. It's
Yeah,
simple. It's not like gonna blow your mind, but
and also if you don't like it, you know that it's like it's not going to last that long. You know what's it going to be? 5 or 6 minutes, and then you can.
yeah.
I mean, you do that a lot with any song from any band, not just Fish.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then we got a Cavern. That's pretty serviceable.
Yeah, and I was like, what is that placement there? I don't know. That was a weird. So if I had like a negative thing to say, which by the way, JW, my co-host on Stub Me Downs, thinks this is the epic show. I mean, that's what he said. I'm just telling you what he said.
Yeah, well, my co-host Llama's here saying it's the best show ever. Kevin earlier was tweeting about how it was the show of the summer, and I'm like, you guys need to learn about attendance bias, motherfuckers. I mean, it was pretty good, don't get me wrong.
No, it was really, really good. I mean,
I don't want to talk people off that post-show glow, though, too, because every show I go to is the best fucking show I've ever seen. And this was a really, really good show, so I don't want to talk them off of it, but...
No, I mean, the Cavern, it's like they're trying to do that. It still sounds like they're still trying to recreate some sort of... or recapture like that island tour Cavern somehow a little bit, just the slow down kind of molasses to it. It's not necessarily like a sped up Cavern like you would hear in an encore spot or at the end of like a second set. So I just thought it was a weird placement. I love Cavern. I just thought it was one of those things where I was like, oh, if they play that here, then maybe they'll go deep with it or something. I didn't know what they were going to do. So,
what was that at MSG that they brought back the Island Cavern?
I think so. I wasn't there. I think it was like midweek or the end of the run, like
I'm
the 7
scrolling
nights.
through all my notes, but I'm like, why am I going to do this? There's a shit. Oh yeah, no, it's night 5 of MSG. It was a really sweet Cavern to start the second set. Oh, yeah. Look, my notes are actually pretty organized.
You're on the money. I knew it was like towards the end of the run. I didn't see it, and I was at the first 3. So, and I had heard that like people were saying, oh, it's kind of a la Island Tour Cavern. I don't know if they're trying to play with that and put it in different spots to mess around with it, but you know, again, right? Meh.
Well, right.
I thought I wasn't going to shit on the show. Oh wait.
Yeah, we always come in. We're like, oh, we're gonna be so positive. We're not gonna shit on anything. Right. Like 5 minutes into it, we're just like, fuck that show. No, it was great. I thought the Reba was absolutely beautiful and kind of, launched back in, get things back on pace, right? Like with the Fluffhead, everything was there. But Cavern was like, okay, what are we doing here? I feel like the Reba really locked things back in. I kind of wish they whistle. I missed the whistle.
I didn't like the fact that they didn't do the whistle. Can you hear me? No.
Yeah, I can hear you great.
You sure? All right.
Yeah.
Maybe I just can't hear myself. Maybe I don't want to hear myself. Anyway, the Reba was great, man. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, very solid. Now, tell me, you were telling me in the green room that you're not a fan of Mound, and I happen to love this song. So explain to me why you don't.
It's the first like clapping, the offbeat clapping turns me right off. I can't do it. I can't take it. I don't know what it is. It's like this. It's like a metronome that's broken, and then everybody jumps in, and then it just like makes me like cringe. And
I agree. I hate when people try to clap along and are off instantly. It's just but I like the rhythmic trick and like the off, moving the rhythmic center off beat, and I like what it is like studio, like when they do it. But I agree, like the crowd jumping in really kind of ruins it.
And then I think it's also that like descending, like the way that it descends, and then it goes into like that kind of like singy, songy. Maybe it's too songy.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and disagree with you. I'll just put that out there, and that's what's great about the shows. People can be like, "Oh, I agree with Tim," or "I agree with Skinny," but I love Mound. I like that it's. I honestly think it's one of the most underrated Fish songs. I think it is like one of the most classic. Like fishy Fish songs, and it's like if you ask people like their top 10 Fish songs or even their bottom 10, nobody ever thinks of Mound. But then when they're playing it, everybody loves it, right? or not everybody. You don't, but like
No.
I feel like it's an unsung hero. And I thought tonight was cool because they had a real bassy, funky, cool jam to it where it was like Paige's left hand, hitting the bass clef,
Mhm.
and Mike like dueling, and like I don't know, like trebles always get all the glory, right? Like the sopranos and everything, all high pitch, and I'm like more of like a baritone bass kind of guy, so I really liked that low register jamming and dueling, and they stuck with it, and it was weird, but they didn't get scared off, from it. So I
Yeah,
liked it, you didn't, and that's fine.
yeah, it still sucks. I love your take, but it still sucks. Anyway.
That's good. That's why I like having people on here. All right. So then out of Mound, we get into Wave of Hope, which was the first song of the night that was out of the 80s or 90s. Quite a bit all the way to 2021. So
Right.
up to that point, the 97 was the youngest song, but I really like this song. I think
Me
that it's
too.
become a very strong jam vehicle over the last couple of years. This was a micro jam version. It was very condensed, but the jam that they squeezed into those 8 minutes was really nice. I think it was a well executed, nice jam.
And the thing about Wave of Hope, I think for the past, like, I'll say like calendar year, like when you win majors in a calendar year or whatever in any sport. I'm going back to sports references. This song definitely is like the song of like the calendar year. It's gone so many places, and there's really some good jams out of it. Every time they play it recently, it's like, I don't know, you can't rate it lower than like an 8 out of 10. Like it's always going to do something or bring it somewhere else. And in this
That has a
case,
very high batting average for sure. I mean, that Deer Creek one, I think, was in 21 was what set it off on that trajectory. And ever since then, it's just been hitting it over and over and over again.
yeah, I mean, every time I see it, it crushes, you know. And it goes into, quite frankly, which you were talking about, PHiSH songs. Like Taste is a song that I could be like, but this one was just like, so that to me, I like to put these two in together because it's a jam vehicle. It starts to jam and then they go into Taste, and that Taste had a really wonderful, a tasty jam, I guess, if somebody's on lot right now, like drinking like a Sammy Smith's or whatever. Like, those two songs right there, I thought were, uh, that was just a nice transition. The whole, like, I don't even know how long that was, but I took notice of not only the Wave of Hope because I'm like, oh, this will be something, because I've seen it like a lot now, and every time I see it, it's wonderful. And then they go into a Taste, which was unexpected, and then you figure a Taste isn't going to go out there at all, and it totally did. I love this little back to back here. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Taste was fantastic and a really nice choice. And there was a handful of unexpected choices tonight, mostly in the Encore, to be honest.
Yeah.
But the
Well,
Taste was
here,
one
yeah,
of them that I was really happy to get. And then it went right into a really nice Ghost that kind of had like a filthy start of the jam, and I really liked. Um, and the Ghost jam was really locked in. I felt like, you know, I love it when it's placed at the end of a set because don't get me wrong, I like weird, spacey, funky ghosts, that like
sure.
go all over the place and stuff. But I also like that big ripping climaxy type of ghost with the big guitar and the big jam coming out of it with going out of the set. So I think in this spot, it worked really well. And it's cool because 3 of the last 5 PHiSH bracket winners were in this set with Fluffhead, Reba, and
Ah.
and Ghost, and so Tweezer was the other one, and that was what, night 1. So they got a lot of big hitters coming out in these early shows. So
Yeah,
it was awesome.
I was wondering maybe in this set one, that's why they threw the Cavern in there. They were just trying to throw like more big hitters in there, but they just kind of missed a little bit with that. I don't know. But the last, can't remember, the last like great Ghost I saw, which is like, man, that's hard to say. It's like they don't really ever play it poorly, and I mean, I think it was the April like cancellation run and at MSG for the New Year's.
Yeah.
That ghost was just like out of control for me. I guess I hadn't seen one to that level, but
I
I
think
mean,
they're usually really good, and then there's ones that really stick out to you. I think the Vegas Ghost
mhm,
from like 2 years ago on Halloween.
right.
Yeah, that one was probably the best one in 4.0 in my opinion, but the MSG one was also really good. But it's such a strong jam vehicle and song that it's harder to think to find bad ghosts, right? Like they're all pretty good, I
Yeah, I
think.
mean, you need this. Here we go, sports references again. It is college football Saturday. I mean, if you need to score a touchdown, just play Ghost. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Just play Ghost.
No, it's fine. I had Scotty on last night. I don't think we made any sports references, so now we're gonna get them. We'll get them all in tonight. All right. So for set break, let's get some housekeeping. We got one more after show tomorrow night. It's gonna be a big one. I got Brian and Abby coming on, and it's the last night of the run, so should be fun. I hope you guys come and join us 15 minutes after Encore. And then Wednesday night, we're gonna do a real big, retrospective breakdown of the whole Dix run, and I think the normal Wood Plus crew, T, Kevin, and Llama should be here. So I'm really looking forward to that.
That'll
Um,
be fun.
yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I made some MS Paint art for Jimmy Buff, and I wanted to share with you guys just because we had lost another artist. I'm proud of my part of my artwork.
That's right. He would be proud of that. I mean,
Yeah, I
he
was
would
like, what should I draw? Let me do a beach and an island.
he would totally get that.
My favorite is the what do you call that? The Avatar font, the papyrus or whatever.
Papyrus. Yeah,
Papyrus.
papyrus.
Papaya. Yeah.
Papyrus. Isn't that what the Egyptians used to write on? Papyrus.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
Yeah, I was surprised. Well, I don't know if I'm surprised. A lot of people were thinking I'm talking about Matt saying about like if they're gonna do a Jimmy Buffett song or and I think it would have been appropriate and great if they did, but I'm also not that surprised that they didn't. There were a lot of deaths in the last couple of years where every time it was like, oh, they're definitely gonna do something, and then
Right.
they didn't, and so I think it would have been weird if they like all of a sudden pick and choose, right? You feel like they'd almost have to do it every time a big artist dies. But like the Parrot Heads, though, I always feel like a kinship. I'm not one, but like the passion that they have for their music is very, very similar and in the same like breath as like Deadheads and like Fish Heads and stuff. And like so, even though it's different, like I feel like I can feel for them, right? Like the pain that they're going for. It's like the same, to them, it's the same thing as like Jerry or God forbid, like when Trey. You know what I
Sure.
mean? So it's like it's a sad day and for
Yeah.
that, but
I thought on in Baker's Dozen on August 1st, we went back up for that one show after seeing a bunch of shows. And I don't know what night that was, 6 or 7. And I was like, Jerry's birthday, they'll definitely do something. And like Kuroda had like a dancing bear next to his rig. And I was like, they didn't do shit. You know what I mean?
no,
They just, like I thought they might even open up with like a Birds of a Feather, either the first or second, just because of Paired Heads and like that kind of connection. But it's like,
yeah.
after a while, I'm like, no, they're not going to do that. It's just, it's just what they do.
I think the only time that there's like a real big, well, not the only time, but like all right, we're getting off topic. We should get into
Yes,
it
is like it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
the Bowie Halloween, I think, was like a special nod thing. But okay, this second set, I'm all over the place with this. AC/DC Back comes on. I'm like, oh, all right, that's standard. Can't wait to hear what the second song is. But sure as shit, they're like, oh, fuck you, we're gonna jam this one out, and it gets type 2. And I was like, oh, this is really exciting. I finally get into the jam, and then like, no, now we're going into Chalk Dust. And so it was a very like ADHD jerking around, and I felt the same thing with the Chalk Dust jam. I was like, oh, what are they gonna do? Oh wow, they're jamming this one out too. And then to go into Ether Edge, I think there's a lot of good intentions here, and I don't know if there was a lot of great execution in it, in my opinion. What did you think about the start of this set?
I thought maybe they would take the AC/DC bag out for a ride, and then they did. I was a little janky going into. I don't say the transition was bad, just like what they were doing with the set, and then I was like, oh, well, they did go type 2, yeah, like you said, like with the chalk dust. I love that, and then I took a little cat nap during Ether Edge just to make sure that I like even set my alarm to make sure that I didn't like fall deeply asleep. And then luckily was woken up with that 46 that 46 days reminded me a lot of the weirdness from It Festival. And like they really could have even kept going. I think they were really pushing some boundaries with that. I felt like the 46 days made up for kind of maybe like the AC/DC bag doesn't get taken out for a ride, but the chalk dust did. And then like
The bag got jammed out a bit. It just once they got really good, I think they kind of abandoned it. So I don't know. This is kind of speculation based on what I was seeing, but it looked like Fishman lost his in-ear, like he couldn't hear the band during chalk dust. So it was very disjointed, and he was like not locked in with the band. But the cool thing is once he recovered it, he was like took control of the situation, went in a completely different direction, and locked it into this like very unique type 2 jam that I hadn't heard before. And this was kind of what I was alluding to before about how they were trying new things. But you're right. I feel like they didn't all land. And I'm not going to say anything else about Ether Edge. All I'll say about it is maybe one day it'll really lock in. It'll be a great song, but it's not there yet. And I don't know if it needs more practice or more times out or whatever. It's not a great song right now. I'm sorry if you love it. I'm not trying to be negative, but
I know. It's placement
La Bamba, and it's not even played well. But the transition in the 46 days, that segue was fucking sweet, and the 46 days jam really brought everything back and locked the set in, and I think saved the set, honestly, and saved the show, because the first set was phenomenal. It got weird in the beginning of the second set, and then 46 days I think really brought everything back and made it all feel good again.
Amen to that. And the Howling just ripped. Like I didn't know they could take I guess they can take everything out there if they want to for a ride, because they have shown forever, especially in the last probably 5 or 6 years, that they can take Lawn Boy out for a ride, Chalk Dust out for a ride. They can take whatever they want to. And then I like the Howling a lot as far as like a newer song. Yeah. And the fact that they took that out for a little bit of a spin there, that was nice.
Has a really sweet groove to it. That funky groove sets up well. I remember when we first heard Sci-Fi Soldiers, that was like what was so exciting about the music. Wasn't that like the story was incredible or the lyrics or the gag, but just the grooves that they had built into these songs were you knew they were going to be really fun to jam with and to dance to in like future songs. I love everything about the Howling except for, and this is going to make me sound like an old curmudgeon, but except for the fucking howling from the crowd. Like
they were doing it for a while too.
And it's so like out of tune and like nails on a chalkboard. And I'm sure if I was there, I'd love it. I'd be the one that's howling. But like listening to the audio, it's like I almost wish I could turn that down, because the groove is so fucking good and the playing is so good. It was like this lofty part of the jam where we're soaring over the funky groove. It was great. I mean, A+ across the board. I just wish they could turn down the actual howling a little bit.
Well, they kept doing it too towards like the end as they were jamming it out, and I was like,
please, more.
No more. I get it. You like the song. Which then leads into what I thought, if I would have known better, like, man, they're ending the set with the Piper, which was, I thought executed perfectly and took it out for a little bit of a spin, not like hugely, but then I should have thought like, oh, well then I guess they'll play 3 sets tonight. You know what I mean? Because they pretty much did, and I thought the Piper was really tight. I wish they would have put the Piper in between the Chalk Dust and the 46 Days. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I'm sure people were happy that that was in there.
I thought
For tonight.
I thought the Piper was fantastic as well. I think it was cool because once they got into the jam, they like honed in on this almonds jam, like this almond brother thing, and to me it sounded almost note for note like Jessica jam. Like I don't know. It was very, very inspired by almonds. I felt like, which was great because they are like the original kings of climaxic jams and
Sure.
just killing it. The only note, and like it's not even a note because like they it is what it is, but what happened to slow builds? Like it's gone forever, right?
Maybe. I mean,
it's not even like average builds anymore. The last couple of Pipers are just like boom, we're in it. Like it builds over one bar and you're like, I don't know, it's such a great thing that they had, and it's like to give up on it and abandon it, it's like but anyway, it was good.
Do you think that that's because, I mean, I'll just ask you a quick aside here. Do you think that's because of like in like the 3.0, 4.0 era, they've been like these micro jams and they can, we talk, Josh and I a lot of times about song stacking. They can just stack like a bunch of great songs, but they only play like 5 or 6 minutes, and then they might have like a micro jam in there, but then that's it. You know what I mean? And maybe the slow build, like you're saying, is gone maybe for good, just because if they're playing one night or 2 nights and they want to put some songs in there for their fans to hear, that might just be it. There aren't any of those long like builds up to that peak, which is what you want in a Piper. But it, like you said, it's still good. It's not shit, man. It's just like bananas and bananas. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. I think there's a much deeper catalog now. So there either has to be that thought of like, oh, we want to try to get more songs, because otherwise they'll have songs that they're not going to play all tour just because like how few songs they play. And I also think it's probably the truth of the matter is if they did a slow build every time, people would probably get sick of it. I think part of the reason we're all clamoring for it is because of like the nostalgia of it. Plus, they never do it, right? I think if they busted out a really drawn out, really slow build and had fun with it, it's the same thing with the Bowies, right? Like the Bowie the other night was like, 5 hi-hat chomps, and then they were in it.
Then they were in it, right?
Like, I almost want like 3 or 4 minutes of like weird noises and funky, and now they got more samples and shit. They could really make it fucking cool and then go into Bowie, and same thing with Piper. But I don't know, I think they're more polished, they're older, and they are less patient, and it's fine though. But then when they give you a jam like they did and a show like they did, and it's at the end of the show, it's really hard to actually complain about it. It's just one of those like weird wish list things that I would like to get, but who knows? We probably never will.
We all have them. And, somebody on lots like, I wish they'd slow build.
I'm sure there's lots of people that want it. I can't be the only one. I think that's going to be a common thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you want to talk about this third set?
No, dude. Full disclosure to everyone, I was texting Tim like, Jesus Christ, man, when is this show going to be over?
Don't they know how late it is? We got
What Klaus has a show to do. It's funny. I thought it was great.
For it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it was fun, especially like starting off with that theme with kind of a little bit more. I guess it was in a different key, and also like wah-wah and funked out a little bit. I obviously don't know what key it even is in, so how do I know it's changed keys? But it was definitely different the way that they approached that.
Well, I call it the swanky theme, and I almost felt like when they did it in MSG, it was a mistake, and then I feel like Trey was like, I like this, and so they brought it back. I don't know if it's a different key or not. I don't have perfect pitch, but it was a different styling, right? Like there's a little more of like a You Sexy Thing kind of like swankiness to it, and Trey added some little riffs and things that he doesn't normally do, and they styled it differently. But I like it. I know I saw online that it was getting mixed responses. Some people are like, "Don't fuck with my theme," but I like that. I like that they're mixing things up and doing things differently.
Yeah, me too. I mean, that's what I'm actually. We talked about Mound. I hate Mound, but Theme is probably my favorite PHiSH song, if
Hey,
not.
it's my
Yeah,
wife's
it's
favorite song too, or
really.
one of her top songs for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
loves it. And the Mango song was a cool choice. If you had asked me to guess a song from the Encore, this would have been like my probably 230th guess. Right? Like no one saw that coming, but what a cool choice, right?
Yeah, I love this song too, actually, and it's like it's a rarity too. So if somebody to see that in an encore spot, not to mention really it's just the third set. I think we should stop calling it the encore. It's the third set from Dick's.
Yeah.
Um, I think this is a really cool choice because it's not something that you're going to see all the time. So, and if you get it placed at an encore like that, like it was a total surprise to me. I was like, oh shit, they're playing Mango song now. So
Well,
you know.
when they got into Mango and then Don't Doubt Me, you're like, my mind is like, they definitely have to be trying to spell something. Like, why these are the weird songs to choose for this set. And
Right.
they didn't. They ended up not spelling it, but like, it felt so weird, like odd the choices. Like, they have to be trying to do something.
Right.
Don't Doubt Me is fucking sweet though. I love that song. Super fun.
Dude, I mean, really, from Mango song on, I was completely surprised that they just kept going for it. You know what I mean? And like even Evolve, that was really nicely played, but I'm like, why are you're playing that now? That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then go like when we could just keep like then like their decision making here, it's like,
Well,
okay.
I thought Evolve was the point where I was a little bit concerned. I felt like everybody was anticipating and expecting the Antelope there, and that would have been the normal point of the set, like of the Encore. I think that would have closed them at 1:30 or whatever, like they had the previous 2 nights. And then to go into Evolve, it just sucked the energy out of the room. But now looking back in retrospective, it's kind of like, oh, this is the ballad of the third set, right? That's that middle spot. But when you feel like they're gonna go into Antelope and you had all this energy in this show, and then they start playing fucking Evolve, I'm like, oh no.
Did you think they were gonna end right there with that?
I didn't know. Well, you know what I said? I tweeted. I was like, I hope this evolves into Antelope. Just being kind of a smart ass. But luckily it did, right? And I was and actually, you know what? Here, I'll share my notes because like if you want to see like behind the this,
curtain.
yeah, right. Because
Yeah.
I think it describes everything. Shows. Oh no, wait. I did not format this for my new
All right.
wait, I gotta get rid of my Encore thing real quick.
You have kind of nice handwriting. I mean, I'm not trying to.
Right.
Yeah, I know you're
So
married.
it's like by Evolve, I was like, kind of sucks the energy out of the room. And then all I said for the end was thank God. I was like, sweet, right? I had all these like more intricate notes for the set and everything. And then by this point, I was like, uh-oh. Trey's gonna Trey, and then like, oh no, thank God. So yeah, I think wow, I really fucked up this.
You got rid of the set list too.
Hold on. Oh, there we go. And
I mean, it's like 4 a.m.
that's all right. Nobody gives a shit.
Nobody
You come to
cares.
Look Plus for the professionalism. But Golgi was awesome, and Golgi could have ended the Encore because it has a nice big built-in climax.
I thought they were. That's a Stub Me Down song. We love Golgi over at Stub Me Down, by the way.
Yeah, me too. And we love Stub Me Down as well. But then to get an Antelope was just the, icing on the cake. And really, I think, made this show super epic. Golgi, by the way, they had been fucking up a lot in the end of 3.0. And so to get multiple clean versions in a row is really, it warms my heart.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I saw it, but I think maybe it was AC last year when we saw you. I can't remember, but I think they slammed that one. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, I did see you guys at
AC. Yeah, I think so. But
yeah,
like,
no, I think that one was good too. I'm thinking more like the end of 3.0. Like the Charleston one was really bad, and
right.
There was one in New York. No, that was 4.0. There was one at MSG on the New Year's run that was pretty fucked up. But I don't know. I don't know why we're talking about the fucked up versions.
This one was not. It was fine. It was really good. I'll
The
take
whole
a
show was
Golgi
great.
anytime. Yeah. I mean, I think that there's little to complain about. I think people like yourself and myself and maybe some other people out there, like, there's just things that you just don't like. I mean, I've come to find that about like my.
Are you gonna
fandom.
bring Mound up again because the chat blew up every time
did
you
it.
say that? The chat's like, what the
Mound.
hell?
Mound sucks. Dude, how do you hate Mound? What are you gonna put them all up? I already explained why I don't like it. You have to go back and watch Wook Plus to see why Skinny hates the song. It's a cross your arms song. I just cross my arms and stand there like this.
I can't turn this off now. We're just gonna have to go out with that comment. With that comment up.
Sweet. Leave it on.
All right. You're allowed to like and hate whatever you want. I don't
exactly.
People are like, oh, you have to love this song. Oh, fuck it. Like, you know.
They don't have to like me either. I'm sure some people are like, fuck Skinny, I hate him.
This is like a fun hobby, right? Like listening to music's like a passion thing. You can't force what you like and don't like. I mean, you're wrong. Sound is fucking awesome, but good for you.
Oh boy.
Oh man. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on. And
yeah, man. Thank you.
Those of you guys who don't know or haven't checked it out yet, Stub Me Down is an awesome podcast, and you can find it wherever you find podcasts.
Thank you.
Skinny and JW interview people and talk, and they get stubbed down on shows, and they talk about PHiSH and, well, sometimes the Dead and other bands, but mostly PHiSH, right? But
PHiSH, Goose lately. Yeah, we just had Megan Gliona on, man. It was a great conversation. She's awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna have her on soon too, I think. To talk
that's great.
PHiSH. Yeah, we love her.
Right on.
All right, guys.
Peace. See you, Tim.
See you next time. Thanks,
yeah, man. Thanks, man.
All right, later.
Later.